All right. We had a little technical difficulties, but I think it's working now. Let's make sure. This is Dan Cummins, Chevrolet and Buick in Paris, Kentucky. And we've got our Saturday morning sales meeting rolling today. We're going to get into a little bit of literature, talking about how to tell a better story. We're going to talk about a few things. We've got better sound today because we now figured out how to work this mic, so hopefully we won't have any technical difficulties there. We've also got better weather, and ultimately it's going to be a better meeting. So good morning from Dan Cummins. All right. All right, so we're working now, right? We're live. Okay, we're live. Good. All right, let's put our phones away, and we will get today going. First things first, Paul, hook me up. Did the TV turn off? Nope. Paul's just got me on a blackout screen. So first things first, I do want to say thank you guys so very much. It has been cold. It has been wet. It has been icy. It has been just plain nasty out there. And you guys have still managed to put up some massive, massive numbers. It's just plain incredible. I got the reports from General Motors. I was taking a look at some things, and a lot of other dealers are not having such a good start to January. Let's just say that. The next closest person to us, we're sitting at 100, well, before yesterday, we were sitting at 114 new vehicles sold, and our next closest competitor had 35, okay? 35, so you guys are killing it. Nice job. Nice job. Now, let's start off with a couple reviews, all right? Rodney Connor says, I don't think I've ever had a better salesman than Robbie Leet. He was very polite, response, and was very helpful on me getting my Camaro. Me and my family will definitely go to him for all our vehicle purchases. Thank you all for your help. Nice job, Robbie Lee. Tanner Freiberger says, just bought a 2015 Dodge Ram 1500 from Dan Cummins. I want to thank them for their service. I called them to make sure they had a vehicle available, and they got back with me within a few minutes. Not only that, but they asked what time I was going to be there and had the vehicle up front for me when I got there. As soon as I got there, Corey came up and was very helpful. He definitely took care of us and was a great help. By far, the best service I've received at a car dealership. Thanks, Corey, for being great. We will definitely be back in the future. Nice job, Corey. Let's look over there on the board. Corey's got 18 and a half out right now. Very, very, very nice. Who's leading the board over there? John's got 29. Troy Cord with 24. Those are massive numbers. George has got 22 cars out. Massive numbers for mid-month. Next review is Haley Angel Allen. We are very happy that we purchased from Nick Rogers at Dan Cummins. He went above and beyond to make sure we got exactly the deal we wanted. I definitely recommend working with him if you're on the market for a new car. Nice job, Nick Rogers. Let's do one more. We got Mark Long. He says, my boy Joel Hoel handled every aspect of our deal in a friendly and professional manner. I highly recommend future customers asking for him personally. Nice job. All right, so check it out. Unless you went to Bourbon County schools, most schools taught us that when we're writing a story, there's 5 things we have to focus on, okay? It's who, what, where, when, why. Who went to Bourbon County School, by the way? Did you guys ever hear that before? Okay, they did teach you that. All right. I wasn't sure, Bourbon County sometimes it's a little iffy. Okay, so who, what, where, when, why. Whenever you're telling a story, whenever you're writing a story, that kind of thing, these are the areas that we want to focus on. We want to make sure we have a who, a what, a where, a when, and a why. So the question is, how can we apply that in the auto industry? Well, what we're doing out here is we are creating a story, right? We're creating our own personal story, our own personal journey, and then we also have our customers that have their personal story, their personal journey. So we want to make sure that we know what each of these things are as we go into each of these transactions. Okay, so we're going to start with the who. The who is the very first part, and it's actually got 2 pieces to it. Okay, when we're looking at who, we have to figure out who we are, and then we have to figure out who our customer is. Okay? Because every customer is going to require a different situation. Every customer's got a different story. So it's important that we figure out who they are as a person. That way we can figure out what their needs are and we can figure out how to help them. But it starts with figuring out who we are first and foremost. Okay? A lot of times in this industry, it happens. We see people around us that are doing things a certain way, or we think maybe that person's a little bit better than us, or maybe if I did it this way, it'd be a little bit better. And it can get confusing. It can get a little bit sporadic. Okay, as far as who I am, I'm a person that's more out there, more vocal. I'm a more video guy. I really like the social media type thing. I'm a little louder, that kind of thing. That's my personality. That's who I am, and that works well for me. And it's always worked well for me in this industry. But that might not be who you are. If you try to be something that you're not when you're with your customers, you're going to run into a lot of issues. You're going to run into a lot of problems. Because people can tell when you're being fake, false, untrue, unreal, not yourself. So it's incredibly important that you take a good look in the mirror. Figure out who you are. Who are you going to be as a salesman? Are you going to be the utmost professional salesman that wears your suit and tie, that knows every specification on every single vehicle? Is that who you're going to be? Or are you going to be a guy who's maybe a little bit less, what's the word I'm looking for? Because it's not less proper, because you're still just as proper, but like John Hinkson. John Hinkson, he doesn't throw on the suit and tie. He's got his turtleneck, he's got his Nike thing, he's got his running shoes. He's out here doing his job. That's who John Hinkson is. He's a little bit different. So first you got to figure out who you are in this industry and who you want to be, and make sure that you're portraying that at all times. We don't ever want to be fake. We don't ever want to be false. Then we have to figure out who our customer is, okay? Every single customer that you run into today, which, by the way, BDC, 85 appointments today, right? 85 appointments. Every single customer that you talk to, you have to spend some time figuring out who they are. Are they a family person? Are they a single person? Are they the type of person who's really excited about things like horsepower and style and speed? Or are they a person that cares more about safety and reliability and longevity? Things like that. Who is your customer? Who are they? We have to figure that out in order to be able to offer them an experience that fits their needs. There's no cookie cutter way of doing what we do. It's not going to be the same for every single customer. We can learn objections, and we can learn our word tracks, and we can learn some better skills and some tools that we can use, that we can apply in a lot of situations. But ultimately, we have to remember that not every single customer is the same. There is a who behind these people that we're talking to, okay? They're not just customers. They're Mr. Johnson, Mr. Thomas, Mrs. whoever, okay? So we got to know who we are. We got to know who they are. Incredibly important. Next thing we have to learn, that we learn from literature, is we got your who, and then we got to have your what. Now, when we go into our what, let me ask you a question. What do you guys sell? What do you sell? What? Wrong. Yourself. You're selling service. All wrong. What are you selling? What are you selling? You're selling an experience. You're selling a dream. You're selling hope, and you're selling a solution. That's what you're selling. You are selling a solution. Every single one of these customers is going to come to you with a problem. You have to sell them a solution to their problem. Okay? They're going to come to you with a hope. They're going to come to you with a dream. They're going to come to you with a problem. You have to sell solutions. There's a guy named Ali Rita. This guy right here, okay? Ali Rita. I've connected with him recently on Facebook. He's a great guy. This guy right here gets it. This guy understands that he does not sell cars. He's never sold a single car. What he sells is hopes, dreams, and solutions. He's also now in the Guinness Book of World Records. He sold 1,435 cars last year. Okay? This is a salesman, delivered every single one of them. Delivered every single one of them. This is not fleet. This is not wholesale. This is no BS. 1,435 cars. He was the #1 Chevy salesperson in the world. He sells the same cars you sell. He sold 1,200 of them last year. 1,200 Chevys last year, okay? That's about 1/3 of what we sell total as a dealership. This guy did it. He understands. Follow him if you're not currently following him. Follow him and a guy named Frank Cornetti, okay? Frank Cornetti sold 1,000 cars last year. Okay, these guys are out there, and we now live in a time where we have access to them with social media and things like that, access like we never had before. If you want to become better at what you do, you got to follow guys like this and reach out to them, man. We're a respected dealership in this country. People know us across this nation. Okay, we sell a lot of cars. So when you reach out to them, they're down to talk. They're hoping they can maybe learn something from you. But when you listen to him, I listened to him in an interview with Sean Hayes, and I've listened to him a couple times on his Facebook thing. When you listen to him, he's just the most like humble guy in the world. He knows exactly who he is, and he knows exactly what he sells, which is solutions. What do you think his lease percentage is? It's almost 70% lease. Okay? Almost 70% he leases his customers because he understands that that can be a better way to buy a car. He also understands that that's going to solve that customer's problems. It's going to get them into a lower payment. It's going to get them into a newer vehicle that's going to have full warranty. And it's also going to keep them out of negative equity situation so they can come back and buy more cars from him down the road. So he's been able to build this book of business where the guy sold 1,200 Chevys. He solved 1,200 problems for his customers. Okay? That's the level that you guys can all get at. We sell the same dang product. If he can do it, you can do it too. Okay? So, got to understand what we sell. If you're just here to sell cars, you are going to be average at best. You will maybe have good days, maybe have good months if you think that you just sell cars. You don't sell cars. You sell solutions. Okay? That's what we do. So, there's your who, there's your what. Now we got to figure out who, what, where. Where are we going to do this? Where are we going to sell cars? Well, there's lots of options out there. Okay, there's lots of choices on where you can sell cars. You can sell cars down the street at another dealership. You can sell Fords. You can sell Lexuses. You can sell in Kentucky. You can sell anywhere you want. You can go out and sell. But me personally, I feel like the where for right now is this place right here. Okay, this place right here is pretty stinking cool. This dealership in this little community has literally like picked the community up on its back. It's brought Paris back to life in a lot of different ways. It's got two leaders at the top, the owners of this dealership, that are willing to get down and dirty and grind out with us every single day. They give us every opportunity in the world to be successful, that make sure we're filling the pipelines with customers, spending ridiculous amounts of money. Okay, Josh and I just went through the advertising budget for last month, and I won't throw actual numbers out there, but it would blow your mind if you saw how much money we spend trying to get customers in here so that you guys can solve their problems. It would absolutely blow your mind. So choosing where you're going to create your story is just as important as any of the other things. Now, once you make the choice, if you choose, which you guys have chosen so far, but once you make the choice to work at a place like this, you have to understand that that comes with some accountability and it comes with some responsibility. All right, if you're going to work at an elite store where you have every single opportunity out there given to you, that you have every tool and that they're investing in you, you owe that place everything that you got. You owe it to them. Every day when you're here, you've got to use those tools. You've got to train every day like you're supposed to. You owe it to these guys. I believe personally I owe so much to Josh and Dusty Cummins in this dealership for giving me an opportunity to change my life, for giving me an opportunity to offer a life to my kids that maybe I didn't have when I was little. An opportunity for me to learn lots of lessons. They give me these tools, and they take me to these conferences, and they help me grow. And so because I've committed to this company, I've been able to learn so many things, and hopefully I can help you guys avoid some of the mistakes I made in the past, and hopefully I can help my kids avoid a lot of the mistakes that I made in the past. Plus, we have this vehicle right here that's going to allow us to possibly change the auto industry nationwide. They give us the freedom to do things like live streams on our Saturday morning sales meeting. I promise, go into, I won't say names, go into another dealership that's maybe down the street and ask the owner if you can live stream his sales meeting on a Saturday. Okay? I promise you, he's not going to want to let you do that. These guys give us a lot of freedom and flexibility to grow. So this is in my story, I've chosen this vehicle right here. This is my where. This is where I'm going to do what I do, and I promise I'm going to give everything I got, 110%, every single day that I'm here. You need to make that same commitment. If you choose, and you don't have to choose this place. You don't have to. But if you choose this as your where to create your story, then you owe it all you got. Who, what, where, when. We're going to talk about when real quick. The most valuable resource, the most valuable thing to me and to you guys and to every human being out there, the most valuable thing out there is time. Absolutely, hands down. You can't get it back, ever, right? Once it's gone, it's gone. You guys have lost 15 minutes sitting in here listening to me, right? So once it's gone, it's gone. Time is of the essence. Your win, when you're dealing with your career, as far as what you do is solving people's problems, your win needs to be now. Right now. When should we solve that customer's problem? When should they buy the car? Right now. Right this second. Right now. Not later. Why? Because you're doing them an injustice. You're not doing them any favors by allowing them another day or two to think about it, or allowing them to travel all the way out to Paris, Kentucky, because you know it took them an hour to get here, and then they're going to go home and they're going to spend another day and then maybe have to come back another hour drive. You're wasting their time. You're wasting their time. We have to do these things now with urgency, and you have to express that to them. Mr. Johnson, I understand that there are things to consider. I understand that there's things to think about, but let's do that right now. Let's think about it right here, right now. You're in the best place. You're with the best guy. Let's put this together so I can save you some time. We got to do it now. Now, when's the best time for you guys to start training and getting better? On Friday? Should you wait till Friday and watch your Cardone videos or all that stuff? Or should you just do it now? Do it right now, today, every day. In the now. Let's train. Let's learn. Let's get better. When do I want my career to get to the next level? Next year or now? Now. We got to do it now, man. You guys have got to learn the importance of the urgency of now. From the phones in the BDC to a salesman down there to your own personal lives. We've got to do it now. Time is the most valuable thing that we got. So we've got our who, we've got our what, we've got our where, we've got our when, and lastly, and most importantly, you got to understand why you do what you do. Okay? If your why do you sell cars over at Dan Cummins? Well, I need to pay my bills. Okay, great. Understand. We all got bills. We all got to pay them, and that's definitely a part of why we do what we do. It's a part. But if your why is strictly to pay your bills, I promise you, you will spend your life trying to pay your bills. You'll spend your entire life just chasing that. Your why has to be so much deeper than just paying your bills. And you got to figure out what your why is. I have a lot of different whys. All right? Literally, a lot. Okay? I've got 6 kids that are a huge part of my why. They're why I'm willing to get up every single morning at 4:30, 4:50, 5 o'clock, whatever time I get up. They're the reasons that I get up, and the first thing I do every single day, the very first thing I do is I start thinking about how I can make my life better for my family. Very first thing. I don't wake up thinking about anything else. I think about this place. I think about how this is the vehicle that I'm in right now that's going to help elevate my family to that next level. That's why I do it. That's why I rise and grind every single day. I don't do it to pay the bills. The bills get paid. But that's not my why. Now, my wife will tell you that my why is not even necessarily the family. I really do feel indebted and feel like I owe these guys that own this building a debt because other people wouldn't take a chance on me in the past. I had made plenty of mistakes, and these guys gave me an opportunity. And so at my 40th birthday, a couple weeks ago, I stood up and I talked in front of everybody, and my wife made sure to point it out later that the first person that I said thank you to was Josh Cummins. And then I said thank you to my wife. She wasn't thrilled about that. But the fact of the matter is, I wake up every single day and I'm focused on this place and how it can take me to the next level. Now, another reason that, another big part of my why is I feel like I've lived through some stuff and I've worked in some dealerships across this country and I know what it's like out there. And so I want, a big part of my why is I want you guys to not have to deal with that stuff. I want you guys to be able to come to work every day in a great environment. I want you guys to be around great people. I want you guys to have opportunities to where you can do big things in your life. I want you guys buying houses and buying cars and getting married and having good, successful relationships and coming into work every day and solving people's problems, making an impact, making a difference. That's a huge part of why I do what I do. It matters. There's a quote that talks about, oh shoot, I just mind blanked on it. But anyway, ultimately, it's not the things that you accumulate. Basically, it's not the things that you accumulate in life. It's the people that you touch, right? It's the hearts that you touch, the hands that you reach out, the people that you lift up and help. That's what they're going to talk about once you're gone. Okay, Leslie's grandfather just passed away yesterday. That's a struggle for her and her family. But we don't talk about what he did or what he built, or we don't talk about his house or his car or anything like that. We just talk about how he touched my kids' lives and how he touched Leslie's lives and how he touched the people around him. That's the stuff that matters. So that's why I do what I do. Why do you do what you do every day? When your why starts to become bigger than just a selfish thought like, oh, I got to pay my bills, when your why becomes bigger, the universe expands. It gets so huge. Your customers feel it. They understand. Your careers start to take off. Your relationships start to get better. Life starts to get easier. Never gets easy. It's always tough. But it gets easier when you understand your why. So there's our who, what, why, when, or who, what, where, when, and why. Now, lastly, in some places, they'll tell you got to have a how. Right? Who, what, where, when, why, and how. They throw in that like, and how. And so how do we make sure that the story we're writing ends up being a good story? And it's really simple, guys. It's really simple. First, we take a look in the mirror. We take a good look in the mirror and figure out who we are, who we're going to be, and commit to being that person. Commit to being the best you that you can be. Okay? So we look in the mirror and do that. We figure out the who. Then we figure out what we're going to do. Are we going to do the same thing that we did yesterday, the same thing that we did last week, the same thing that we did last year? Or what are we going to do? Are we going to do something different? What are we going to do? So who, what? Then we're going to figure out where we're going to do it. Are we going to do it at Dan Cummins? If we don't want to do it at Dan Cummins, it's okay. Just let me know today, please, because I got to get somebody in your seat, because we need lots of salespeople because we have 80-something appointments today. So maybe let me know Monday if you don't want to do it here. All right, maybe Monday, because we're going to be busy today. But just take a look in the mirror and say, this is where I'm going to do it. This is who I'm going to be. This is what I'm going to do. This is where I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it right now, right? That's when I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right now. And why am I going to do it? I'm going to do it because, and then I need you to fill in the blanks. Grab a piece of paper, write it down, figure it out. Figure it out, and then just commit 100%, one day at a time. John Maxwell says it best. John Maxwell says, if I go out in the backyard and I take an axe, I go out in the backyard and I pick a tree and I swing at that tree 5 times and I go back inside and I sit on the couch for the rest of the day. And then the next day, I go back out. I go back out to that same tree. I go back out and I just swing my axe at it 5 times and I go back inside and I sit on the couch. If I keep doing that every single day, what will ultimately happen? The tree's going to fall down, right? Now, what if I get up off the couch and I go outside and I swing an axe 5 times at one tree, and then the next day I go outside and I swing the axe 5 times at a different tree, and the next day I go outside and I swing the axe 5 times at a different tree, and I keep doing that? Are any of those trees ever going to go down? If I'm hitting a different tree every time, they'll never go down, man. That's the key. Figure it out. Okay, here's my tree. This is the one I'm going to swing at. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to do it. This is where I'm going to do it, and this is when I'm going to do it, and this is why I'm going to do it. And just go out there and swing at it 5 times each day, man. 5 times each day, a little bit every day. And I promise, at some point, you're going to knock that tree down. You struggle with getting up early, just try it a little bit every day. Squeeze it back 15 minutes, a little bit every day. You're struggling with maybe you want to read more books, but you're not reading more books. Just grab a book, man. Just read it a little bit every day until you get in the habit. Just a little bit every single day. Be working on you, okay? All right, let's stand up, tell everybody why we're here and what we're doing. Because I don't know about you guys, but a big part of my why is that I am on a mission to eradicate the negative stigmas associated with the car business. I can do this by making people feel special, feel important, and feel like they're the only one. I will offer an experience that will exceed my customers' expectations today, tomorrow, and in the future. I will not just sell cars, I will create fans. We got good weather, guys. We got good weather. We've got a lot of appointments. Let's have a big day. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is obviously, as you can see, Dan Cummins. You can go to the website, check us out. We actually are hiring for about another week if anybody's looking. But ultimately, I'm sure you got the message. Figure out the who, what, where, when, why of your story. You got to figure it out, dial it in, sit down with a pad of paper and dial in, figure out what you're doing and why you're doing it. And I promise you, your career will take off. Thank you, Mr. Josh Cummins, my man up there in D.C. tuning in. Love it, brother. We miss you down here. We are going to sell a lot of cars while you're gone. You have a good time with your family. And Chuck Miller, man, that's my man, Chuck. Chuck, you have a big day today as well. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure to share the feed, and I will see you later.